On today's show, we discuss foreclosure defense and financial hardship. New York, New York, you're officially in the legal corner. My name is Luis Trujillo. With me, as always, my partner Brian Levine. We are consumer debt attorneys, and we are here to educate.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. The information presented on this show is for educational purposes. Nothing should be construed as legal advice. Please consult with an attorney about your individual cases. Now, Trujillo and Levine is going to present Church Tour 2012. We started to discuss it on the show last week. We mentioned it at the very end. We'll be traveling to various churches in an effort to educate our brothers and sisters. As a way of giving back to our Christian community, we will be giving free legal advice sessions. You can come with your questions. We will bring the answers. Talk to your pastors to set up a free legal seminar. Contact us yourself or pass it along to the congregation, whether it's foreclosure, personal injury, criminal defense, family law-related matters.
Consumer debt.
It makes no difference.
Real estate.
The attorneys at Trujillo and Levine will be there to advise you. You can give us a call, 1-800-870-6507. That's 1-800-870-6507. That's also the same number as the show. So if throughout the show you want to give us a call and chime in or ask a question, that's what we're here for. A matter of fact, there's probably a reason why you're listening and we're speaking. And that's, Louis, because God kind of speaks in mysterious ways sometimes. Unexplainable things happen for a reason all the time in my life. And all the time, people come into my office and they go, wow, you're just the person I was looking for. So if you're listening, there's a reason for it. It's bigger than you and I. And so listen up.
Are you in foreclosure? Are you in insurmountable credit card debts? Do you have a family member who perhaps is in foreclosure?
A friend.
A relative? Give us a call. On today's show, we'll be discussing the intricacies of how to defend yourself in these type of situations. And again, as Brian mentioned, there's a reason why we're on. There's a reason why you're listening. The information we give is absolutely free. It's to protect yourselves.
So I'm kind of sick and tired of the loan modifications. Look, if you want to give away your money to a bunch of idiots who are going to lie to you, who are going to tell you, yeah, we're going to get you a loan modification, be my guest. But that's not the route to go. You're going to give them money, and they're going to not do anything. They're not going to produce. People guaranteeing my clients all the time. They come in and all unsuccessfully. If you're in a situation where you're constantly calling up your loan modification company or you're constantly calling up your attorney who's currently doing a loan modification, look elsewhere because loan modification companies aren't going to help you. The only person that's going to be able to help you in a foreclosure case, in a pre-foreclosure case, or in a debt case, is a licensed attorney. That's an attorney licensed to practice. Nobody can submit an answer to a summons and complaint but a licensed attorney. No one could defend you in court but a licensed attorney. No one's as excellent and as aggressive in communicating your defenses as well as negotiating than a licensed attorney. So whether Joe Schmo is on the other end of the phone telling you he's going to save you money on your debts, or he's going to get you that loan modification, he does it all the time, and he guarantees you just got to give him $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. I don't care what you got to give him. He's not going to help you. It's not worth it. Don't waste your time. Time is precious, especially in a foreclosure matter. You're behind on your mortgage. You got that 90-day notice. Something's coming soon, and it's a sign that something's going to happen, and you need to act now.
You can prepare yourself earlier or deal with it later. Either way, the best individual poised to assist you is an attorney. And one thing I would add is that it's actually a double-edged sword. The idea that homeowners come in complaining about the modification company that they've given lots of money to and hasn't done anything. And the other thing, as I often like to publish when I write, the idea that servicers are getting every month monthly payments from the investor. It is their goal to keep you in the modification loophole, if you will, for a year or even longer. And the whole idea is that there is a resolution to it, but there are long routes, there are wrong routes, and then obviously there are better ways that homeowners can help yourself. We here at the Legal Corner believe that it is our responsibility, our duty as attorneys to share with our listeners other options they have to help themselves, right?
Yes, absolutely. Now, are you one of these people? Are you constantly calling your loan modification company, seeing what's the status of your mortgage modification, and being told, oh, I need this, I need that, I need more updated financials. If that's you and you're listening, give us a call. You're wasting precious time and effort, and you're probably wasting more money than you have to begin with. Get out of it. Don't allow other people to usurp your time so that they can try and make money off of you. It's wrong, and you need to recognize that. Give us a call. We'll advise you.
You know, there's another category of individuals, and those are individuals who may have exhausted all of their hearings at the settlement conferences. So now we're discussing people that are in foreclosure and in court. They've exhausted this.
Stop. You know what bothers me the most? Talking about the foreclosure conferences. If you're with a loan modification company and they're going in with a translator, or if you're going to a real estate agent, you're going to the settlement conferences with them, you got tons of trouble. Because once those break down, you have no attorney. A matter of fact, they should not even be going with you. A real estate agent cannot represent you. A matter of fact, they tell the referees or the judges that they're not there as your attorney. They're not representing you. And because they're not representing you, they're not looking out for your interests. There's something called a fiduciary duty, and attorneys have that with their clients. It's based on trust, confidence, and loyalty. That duty does not exist with the loan modification people that help you and don't know what they're doing in court. Or they might know because they've been to settlement conferences. But that's not good. That's not good enough. You need to have somebody not wasting your time.
That's exactly my point. Once the case gets marked off the calendar, that's where the gate opens up for full litigation, meaning
but
the bank.
You don't realize it. You don't realize it. You certainly don't realize it until it's too late, because meanwhile, the whole time you're going there, you're like, oh, this person's taking care of me. It happens all the time.
Then the servicer comes in with a denial. You show up to court. Referee says, well, this has been on 7, 8, 9 times. That's it. So, for our listeners to understand that, when you're marked off calendar, you now enter full litigation. It allows the bank to begin to put their motion for summary judgment, get their order of reference. That opens a door for judgment of foreclosure. That there opens a door for final judgment and public
eviction.
auction.
Yeah. On top of that, you don't have any defenses at that point because you hadn't asserted them in an answer. You kind of messed that up, and you need to correct that as soon as possible. The earlier you correct that, the easier it is. You wait too long, you wait till it's marked off the foreclosure settlement conference calendar and put into the trial part, you're done. It's over. Game over. You do not want to wait. If you're in a situation like that, get out of it now. If you're listening, like I said earlier, there's a reason for it. There's got to be a bigger reason for why you're hearing me speak right now, because it's not just randomness.
Agreed, Brian. And if any of the information that we're sharing with you strikes a chord as to something that you're going through, a family member, a relative, and this information is not just limited to foreclosure. The other forms of debt that are included as obviously credit cards.
Yes. Now, that's a good point. We'll get to that in a little bit. But if you're in a situation with a loan modification company and you're wasting your time and money, do me a favor and give us a call. 1-800-870-6507. That's 1-800-870-6507. Why don't you let somebody advise you who actually has some understanding of what happens once the settlement conferences break down? Once the servicer denies your loan modification. Now, you mentioned servicing. The servicer is the actual entity of the bank, whether it's a subsidiary of the bank or it's a totally separate company that collects the money and gives it to the investor. And the investor is the lender, or is the company who purchased your note and mortgage. The servicer is just a middleman. They're in the business of servicing. They're in the business of collecting monthly payments and taking away their fee, marking up the notes on the computer, and then giving it to the owner of your note and mortgage.
They actually get paid by HAMP, by our federal government, just to send out HAMP applications to homeowners. Now that's interesting, because there they are sending HAMP applications, yet 8 months later, there they are denying the same homeowner for that modification. Why? Because it's the servicer's interest to make money, not to help you.
Oddly enough, one of the one of the most often heard reasons for being denied is simply failure to submit paperwork. You might actually have qualified for a loan modification, but you simply missed a deadline. You failed to submit paperwork. And to tell you something, these people that you might have paid to help you out, you didn't pay them that much, so they don't really care. Once they apply, it was denied. Maybe they'll say, "Oh, we'll try again." Maybe if they messed up on their end, they'll say we'll try again, or maybe they'll just do it out of kindness. But after once or twice, even if the second time was their fault for not submitting paperwork, they're done. They took your money, they're done, they don't want it. It's not economically feasible for them to continue working on your file. Get out of our office. I'm sorry, we did the best. You do not qualify. That's not always true, though. You need to double check. There's only one way to double check, though, and that's to go to another person. And you don't want to go waste your money on another person. You need to find a professional, someone with ethics, someone who's going to help you and looking out for your best interest, because that's what they dedicated their life to. Not somebody who's looking for a quick buck and who's jumped into the new thing. It's like the marketplace. These niche areas, they constantly switch around. One minute it's loan modification, the next minute it's mortgage securitization, the next minute it's debt settlement. Don't get caught up in these schemes. There's tons of other legitimate places to turn to that will not try and take your money, not take advantage of you. It'll it You can't. You can't turn to an idiot and ask for advice.
You have to be careful. Time is of the essence when you're a homeowner. The idea that it is as I like to call it, a market fad, if you will. The idea that the government proposed these programs, all of a sudden, companies were sprouting out everywhere. Everyone's an expert in loan modifications. Yet, why is it that the HAMP Home Affordable Program has less than a 50% success rate? It's because the